call me crazy, cause that's what my life is. I never think about the consequence or care what the price is. Trouble always follows me just like a damn shadow. It's mad, bro, always end up in some aggro. I'm too waggle for my own good. Welcome to another episode of Krazys Cookbook. Today I'm going to be doing something a bit more English. I'm sure other countries will probably claim it, but yeah, I'm going for a shepherd's pie, so possibly Welsh, I don't know. They got bare sheep in Welsh, so big up the Welsh gang. I'm not trying to tea from you. And this is my interpretation, and I'm English, so this is what we're going with, yeah? Anyway, it should be good. I'm going to go on with the cooking. The logical first point to go from is the spuds, because we've got to peel these down, and I want to boil them before I mash them up, because it's going to be potato on the top. So I've cleaned them off. I just, yeah, get a potato peeler, or get your mates to do it if you can help it. If you're going to feed them, get them involved. You know, it's just a fun job that no one likes doing. But yeah, just take the skin off. I'll be with you when all this is done. I'm going to chop these potatoes up because the more chopping at this point before you put them into boil, the less mashing you have to do. Now, nobody really likes mashing, but it does help if you get yourself a good masher. When you've chopped up the potatoes, drop them into the water. Be careful, don't burn yourself, because I'm using very hot water. I've probably just done. Oh yeah, if you actually know where the origin of shepherd's pie is as well, write in the comments below, because honestly I don't know. I'm claiming like it's English, like actually no, I haven't looked it up. But yeah, make sure you got loads of potatoes as well. Yeah, this looks like a lot, but I'm telling you now, yeah, when you start mashing this stuff up, it disappears real quick. Make sure the potatoes are a similar size as well, so when you drop them in and cook them, they will cook at a similar speed. Another thing that needs to be boiled is I'm going to chop up carrots to have in with the mince. But yeah, I'm going to boil these down first because I don't like it when the carrots are hard, you know. So I'm going to, yeah, real quick, easy like that. Boom. Chop off the end. Chop it in half, like that. Half again, in half again, in half again. Oh, that was a bit rough. But then we chop these up into little pieces. See, little pieces. So this should boil up real quick, but it just stops you busting your teeth on the little pieces of it, I find. We're gonna get these carrots on the boil as well. As I said, they won't take as long as the potatoes, but I want them ready by the time I do the mix. So a little bit of water in there, and these are nice and small. I could have gone finer, but I like the texture of it as well. I think it's good on the grand scheme of things, because the mince gets quite small. And this will shrink as it's soft anyway. For my own good, it gets me a scrape. The time to start a fight when you with 10 of your mates. And now these potatoes have been here for about 20-30 minutes and they've all gone soft, so I'm going to chuck the water into the sink above the colander. Now I'm going to mash the potatoes. I've changed it over to a more circular one, because in the bigger round one the potatoes can escape more. In this they can't escape. Basically I need to get myself new pots, that's all it is, yeah. But that one was the big enough size. And when I said earlier about getting yourself a good masher, yeah, this is what a good masher looks like. This is what a bad masher looks like. Do not bother if you, yeah, just get this and throw it in the bin, man. Get that. Here's a good masher, as I say, yeah. It literally, you can put some force into it with your fist and it ain't gonna bend. And it literally just makes a meal out of these potatoes. But make sure you cook the potatoes through. That also makes the job a lot easier for yourself. Yeah, and once I've half semi-mashed it, at this point now, I'm going to chuck in a whirl of double cream. I want that in there. I'm also going to put a nice amount of butter in there as well. So I love butter on my food. It's probably like, you know, if you're on a diet, maybe don't put this much, but not rampant. So let's get that in there, and that will again make it easier to mash. You know, the nice little bits, but we don't want this creamy as well. You don't want it all lumpy.
There's always something in my way, and I don't know why. Outcome's still the same, no matter how I try. Now check my resume.
I'm going to put some seasoning in the potato now as well. I'm going to let it rest for a minute, as I've got bay leaves and everything I wanted to take on the flavour of. So I put some seasoning there, some cracked pepper and some salt. I've got a bit more pepper than salt in the ratio of this at the moment. So I want the pepper all up on the potato, and I don't want it to be too salty. And chuck some bay leaves in there, and a little piece of all-purpose seasoning. And there just to flavour that up. So now I'm going to stir this, get that flavour going all the way around. This is mad creamy. Get that deep in there, make sure it goes all around to the bottom as well. We don't want to skimp out. And then maybe a little piece more as well, you know what I mean? Get that everywhere in there. Make sure it's nicely seasoned. And that is what we call creamy mashed potato. I've got this minced lamb. Instead of just chucking it all in one go, what I'm going to do is put it in little sections and spread it out around so it cooks and browns. Now, a lot of people, they make the mistake of putting the onion in first, yeah, or the meat all in together at the same time. Now, what happens is if you do that, yeah, you'll notice a liquid comes out. That liquid is water, and what happens is you end up boiling the lamb. And nobody wants boiled lamb. Like, the way to fry off, and it'll be a much better flavour around when you do that. So you just put a little bit in at a time. Now, I don't put oil in because I find lamb's fatty enough already as well. You might get a few little burnt bits in the bottom, but that's alright, that'll come right off when you put your tomatoes and onions in there and everything like that. But even with that little bit in there now, you notice there's liquid that comes out. So what you want is to cook it and let it brown up a little piece. And then move that round to the side. And when that's brown, then we go in with the next bit. Put some more pieces in. Whilst that lamb is frying as well, I'm going to put in some sprigs of rosemary. Now, rosemary you want to keep in the whole sprigs because I find, well, you don't want that. You just don't want that in your pie. You don't want a tree branch just coming off in your mouth, innit? So just make sure you keep them whole together like that, and that'll make the flavour come out nice. But yeah, still, I won't be all up in your food in a bit. Now that last bit of mince is gone in there to brown off, I'm going to chop up an onion. I've gone for a white onion this time. Now, the colour of it doesn't really make a difference. I just went for this was the biggest onion they had in the shop. Yeah, peel off the outer layer as normal. Wow, that's my strength. Like that. I keep that bit, waste not, whatnot. Chop it in half. You just chop this up kind of finely because I want that to just melt into the meat. And when it gets down to the side, chop that. And that is beautiful. And then I'm gonna chop it this way again as well, so it comes out even smaller. And do that with the other side as well. Yeah, keep these bits for your compost, innit? Stuff them in your box. On this too. Of course, I'm going to want to put a nice amount of garlic in this as well. So you smash the garlic down, and it makes the skin come off real easy like that. And then yeah, we just chop that up into little bits. Grab a couple at a time. I can literally smell the rosemary coming off that lamb as well. That is going to be delicious. Perfect time now. The garlic is ready. You see the mince is browned off lovely. So I'm going to chuck that garlic in with that first before the onions go on. And just let that garlic flavour go into the browned mince. As I say, before I get the onions on there, let them sweat down as well. So I want that garlic strength to hit. At this point as well, the perfect time to season it up a bit. I'm going to put some cracked black pepper with the salt. As I say, there's more black pepper in this than there is salt. You don't want it too salty. So we like the spice. That is been there for about a minute now. The aroma's coming off of that is something stupid. I'm going to chuck the onions on top. And then, where they're softening now, I'm going to mix that around. So that takes on the heat from the mince as well. And the flavour starts mixing in. Then, I'm going to start chopping up these beautiful vine tomatoes. I'm going to use all of these. Some people use tomato puree. I don't believe in it. Use fresh tomatoes whenever you can. I know puree's got that intense, you know, if you want to do jollof rice, cool, use puree, you know what I mean? But yeah, nah, fresh veg when you can. More nutrients, better flavour I find. Yeah, chop them down into a few slices so they're easier to break down into it. Some people are funny about skin. I really don't mind it. I think there's nutrients in the skin. Just like most veg, you know, a lot of the goodness is in the skin. So maybe if I was making a passata, I might boil them down first and then put them in ice bath, but it's just hassle, you know. I like the extra texture. Yeah, of course, I'm gonna chuck some bay leaves in the mix, and I think it's a good time to do that with tomatoes because the liquid from the tomatoes will juice it right up. And that'll really bring out the flavour from the bay leaves, which I think is an incredible flavour for these shepherd's pie, cottage pie sort of dishes. So get that mixed right in. And also, it's probably a good time now to take out these sticks from the thyme. Just get rid of them. Bring that in the bin. Now I know I said if I was making the passata, I'm not going to. These cost about 35 pence in the supermarket. Yeah? Save yourself the hassle and buy one in it. You know what I mean? Look, snip. What some people should have, the snip, but yeah, now look, wow, get that in there. Also, as I want it to cook now fully and take on the flavours, I'm going to fill that up with some water, that gets off the bits from the inside, shake around a little piece, and chuck that in there as well, so I can cook down the goods now. Give that a stir. Obviously I prefer fresh mint, and I will be using this as I say. But yeah, I find if you put a little bit of this in, a bit of mint sauce in there, it's got the vinegar, it's got all the extra flavours in there that you're used to with your mint sauce and stuff. And I think, yeah, just really, as a base flavour, if you have a teeny little bit in the background, it really makes a big bit of difference. But yeah, also as well, make sure you get your herbs and stick them in water. Just like you would if you bought your flowers, you don't want them to die real quickly. Same applies with your herbs. And also, yeah, your broccoli as well. Tender stem broccoli. Oh, and before I forget, actually quick time as well, I've got these here, share with me. Let's get the carrots in at this point. Put them in. I'm just going to press it down and chop up some bits real fine. But I'm also going to make sure I save some whole leaves at the bottom so I got some to garnish as well. But I've got quite a nice amount in there. As much as it's got the mint sauce flavour, this fresh mint adds a whole new depth of flavour to it as well. So yeah, wicked. That should do. And I will chuck that in. Normally I put fresh herbs in right at the end, because I said this is going in the oven as well, so it's going to get proper cooked now. So I just want the flavours to come out of it really. But I'm going to leave this now to soak in and for all of these tomatoes to break down for probably about 20 minutes, half hour. On a real low heat.
Telling me stay a little bit longer, questioning my sanity, wondering if it's the weed, COVID-19, or that damn vaccine. My brother Krazy, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Right, this has been simmering down now for ages. I did cheat and put a little bit more water in off camera because I wanted it to cook down properly and all the flavours to be taken on board. But yeah, only one more pint of water and all I've done was reduce it. I've been careful now to get all the bay leaves and anything extra that you don't want to eat, because this is now going to go on the bottom of your pie. So fling that in the bin. But you notice there's no watery liquid left in there now. Plain and simple. Let's just get this up on here. Pour that in. A nice layer. You see, you can see the carrots and tomatoes all blended up in there. That looks wicked. I'm actually well impressed with that. And get every last bit off of there because it's all good in the bottom. You want that going into your face. So I'm going to spread that out evenly. Oh yeah, and I've heated up the oven as well this time, because I'm going to make a big transfer and switch this over to the oven. So the potato still steaming warm because I kept it on a very, very low heat. Nice and seasoned. So I'm going to position this around to pattern out. Yeah, use your hands, just make sure you've got clean hands. You don't want it going on too thick. So good, I only want it pretty even around there. So flatten out. I'm sure there's a better way, but look, I've got clean hands, right? I'm hygienic. I wash my hands and I don't pick my nose. Make sure you get any bay leaves and anything out as you go. I am smoothing this out and I'm making it just slightly shy of going over the top because I'm going to put cheese on now and I don't want that to all run off over the sides, but I want this to be nice and flat. Okay, I'm seasoning this again. I know I've seasoned the potato already, but I want a bit more salt and pepper in with the cheese. And I've got two types of cheeses. I've got 250 grams of red Leicester and 250 grams of mozzarella. Now I am not a rampion when it comes to the cheese. I'm going to put it all over. I'll probably use up all of this because I don't think you can get enough cheese on top of these things. Some people don't even put cheese on top of them. I think those people are called idiots or lactose intolerant, one of the two. But yeah, this honestly is a game changer. And I mix it all up. I probably could have just mixed it all in together in a bag and then sprinkled it out, mixed up. But where's the fun in that, eh? This is going to be great. So yeah, that is going in every nook and cranny. Now don't worry about getting it over the edges too much because cheese, when it melts, it runs. When it runs, it will cover the edges. A bit. Pow. Right, so I broke off the top of a mint. Just to grind it to stick it in the middle. Just to make it look a bit pretty. And that's it. Now that is going to go in the preheated oven. About 30 minutes, 10-20 minutes. But keep an eye on it. You want the cheese to be cooked, but not to burn. Now I've got a little trick for the cheese. Waiting for that to cook, what you need to do is get 2 tea towels and practice doing non-chop skills with your tea towel. I'm joking. We've got to cook the broccoli, the tender stem broccoli. So I'm going to put this on here. You will see I've kept this also in water because it stops all the ends drying out. So I'm going to put that on the pan. I'm going to put a bit of the water that it's been living off of in there with it. I probably should have preheated this, so you'll have to bear with me, and that will soften it up. As that goes on, I'm going to add some butter into that and a bit of seasoning as well, just to make that extra tasty. But it should be ready, just about ready before this is ready to take out and chuck in the grill. Now what you really should be doing whilst you're waiting for it to cook, washing up. Yeah, don't leave it to the end, get on it. I've opened it up just to check on it and the top was starting to brown nicely. So what I've done now is I flipped onto the grill because I want to get some nice burnt spots on the top. Not burnt, but you know, we want that extra brown bits for flavour. I've also flipped these over, because as much as they call it tender stem broccoli, if you don't boil up the stems right, it'll be chewy stem and you don't want that, you know, you still want it fresh. But yeah, so that needs like one more minute on there, and I'm literally putting that underneath in the grill. Once that's in the grill, keep a real close eye on it because that will cook quick. Okay, so I've had a look and it's starting to get little black spots on top, so it's absolutely perfect. It's ready to come out of the grill. Now I'm going to put that on the side, just cool off for a second, finish off the rest, and then I'm going to plate it up. So I'll catch you in a second when I plate it up. While I'm waiting for that cheese to crisp up, the stems on here are both nice and tender now. So like his namesake, I'm just going to drain out a one piece. A lot of people just serve it as is. Of course I want more flavour on it, so I'm going to season that up of course, like that. And I'm going to chuck on a bit of salt and butter. I always get salted butter, everyone's all like get unsalted because, you know, whatever, innit? Flavour, you live once, life short. RIP to all of my friends that didn't make it to see this, you know. The cheese on top now has dried off a little bit of crisp. The reason I leave it for a minute is because obviously when you take it straight out of the oven, it's still bubbling, it's still like kind of liquidy, like melted cheese. But now, what I want to do is just run the knife around it so it doesn't stick. And you chop it out. Obviously it doesn't matter if you go to the potato a little bit, you can scoop that out of your hand. It's the cheese that'll be stuck to the top. So we go around that. Then put a line through it. That's portion size. I'm doing some good sized portions because we're hungry and we'll be waiting for a while for this. And see what I say there? Get a spatula and break off the handle. You use a normal spatula, but it just annoys you, it gets around and you don't get the same flexibility, you know what I mean? So go underneath here, and this is a time when you see things like this is when it really counts, yeah? Here we go, put it next to it, bam, like that. Then you want all that good stuff to go around there. Some extra flavouring around there. And if you made a bit of a mess, you can always do that chef trick on the plate, you know, and clean it around and make it look proper. Now, this tender stem broccoli is ready. Just going to chuck some on the side, on either one. And that is 2 delicious looking plates of food right there, sorted. And enough to last maybe 2 or 3 meals afterwards as well. Well, it's done. If you made it this far through the video, thank you ever so much. Honestly, you're the real MVPs. But now, on the road, today I've done what I think's a bit of a more traditional, simpler dish. I want to try and have like a lot of different food types on the channel, and yeah, I think it's important that we touch on these sort of things. Plus, it's delicious. I love this food. You know what I mean? Wow. Look, all I'm saying is, let me enjoy my food. Allow me. Yeah. Go make it. Click like and subscribe on the video because it really helps us. But yeah, go and do your thing, and thank you for watching another episode of Krazys Cookbook. Yeah, see you next time.
Questioning my sanity, wondering if it's the weed, COVID-19, or that damn vaccine.